clearly a feeling at the top of the Labour machine that reception wasn't good enough in there, and there is trouble ahead because Keir Starmer is taking the extremely unusual measure of calling in every Labour MP who isn't a minister. Starmer started this appeal to Labour MPs last night at a meeting of backbenchers and Labour peers. He had a few tricky questions there. He told them that the welfare system as it works at the moment was indefensible and unfair, but into number 10 over the next 2 days to try to persuade them face to face that actually they need to back these maybe £6 billion worth of welfare cuts.
170 Labour MPs are reportedly plotting rebellion. What's pushing them to break ranks? And how could this threaten Starmer's leadership just a year into his premiership? Strap in as we dissect the £5 billion welfare cuts at the heart of this rebellion and the latest shocking resignation shaking Labour's foundation. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now back to the video.
I think it's happening because some of these measures, not all of them, but some of them need to be passed in a vote in the House of Commons. And people at the top of the Labour Party think the number of rebels currently, if they were guessing, that could be in their own ranks that you were just describing. I reckon he's carved out about 5 hours from his diary, not allowing for prep time to do this. This doesn't happen very often. And one source said to me, potentially 80 MPs, and we could be looking at resignations from the top, i.e. from the Cabinet table. And Cabinet today...
The £5 billion welfare cuts have become a political lightning rod, and for Labour MPs, the numbers tell only part of the story. These reductions target some of the most vulnerable in society, focusing heavily on personal independence payments, PIP, and the health-linked components of universal credit. PIP helps disabled individuals with the extra costs of daily life, while universal credit provides a financial lifeline for those unable to work due to health issues. For many in Labour, these aren't just benefits, they're symbols of the party's historic commitment to social justice. Take the case of one man from Durham, a 58-year-old living with advanced multiple sclerosis who relies on PIP to afford mobility aids and transport to essential medical appointments.
They came up for discussion in Cabinet today. I'm told that all but 2 members of the Cabinet actually contributed to the discussion. Again, unusual to have quite so many people chipping in. It was a very interesting meeting, not unrelated to all of this, because these cuts are being made necessary because of the fiscal rules on borrowing that Rachel Reeves wants to abide by. At the end of the discussion, Rachel Reeves turned around and said, well, it looks like we've got everybody backing. We've got Cabinet backing for my fiscal rules. Well, I'm told by people who were party to that discussion that was not what it felt like in the room. And
under the proposed cuts, he stands to lose over £200 a month. Money he says would force impossible choices between heating his home and maintaining his care routine. It's stories like his that have turned this budget decision into a moral flashpoint, with critics accusing Starmer's leadership of abandoning Labour's foundational pledge to protect those most in need. This rebellion isn't just about policy, it's about trust. During his campaign, Starmer positioned himself as a unifier, someone who promised to correct the rifts left by his predecessors. His commitment to stability and integrity resonated with members who were tired of factional infighting. However, these welfare cuts and the ensuing backlash have painted a very different picture. It's not just rank-and-file MPs speaking out. 170 are said to be considering some form of dissent, according to insiders, with 42 already openly opposing him. This scale of resistance makes it clear this isn't contained to isolated complaints, but signals a broader fracture within the party. Public sentiment only worsens matters. Polling suggests a majority disapprove of cutting benefits for disabled people and the poorest households, which raises uncomfortable questions about whether Labour is losing touch with its base. It all came to a head with Vicky Foxcroft's high-profile resignation as government whip, which many saw as a line in the sand. Her departure reframes the rebellion. It's not just about cuts anymore, it's about Starmer's credibility, and Foxcroft's resignation offers a key to understanding Labour's present fractures. What exactly does it say about the deeper battles brewing within Starmer's leadership team? Vicky Foxcroft's resignation may seem like just another rebellious voice within Labour, but her role as a government whip makes it seismic. A whip's job isn't just to vote along party lines, it's to enforce loyalty and ensure unity across MPs. When someone in this position resigns, it sends a direct message that the leadership's authority is under serious strain. For Starmer, this marks the fifth resignation from his front bench in just a year, a troubling pattern that undermines the stability he promised. Foxcroft's letter makes her stance clear. Citing her opposition to cuts impacting disabled people's finances, she wrote, "I have always believed this could and should be done by supporting more disabled people into work. I know I will not be able to do the job that is required of me and whip or indeed vote for reforms which include cuts to disabled people's finances." Her words cut to the heart of the issue, a clash between Starmer's focus on fiscal pragmatism and those who see welfare as a moral responsibility, one that Labour cannot afford to compromise on without betraying its core identity. With her resignation, Foxcroft joins a list of frontbench MPs who have left their posts, including Louise Hay, Andrew Gwynn, and Annalise Dodds. Each departure chips away at Starmer's leadership, projecting instability and inviting scrutiny over his ability to unify Labour's deeply divided factions. These resignations don't exist in isolation. They echo past leadership crises, like those faced by Jeremy Corbyn and even Tony Blair. The same fault lines emerge, a battle between the party's traditional values and modern political realities. Looking ahead to the looming July 1st vote, the stakes couldn't be higher. Foxcroft's decision to resign rather than enforce Starmer's agenda exposes growing tensions within Labour. It's a stark symbol of a party at war with itself, one side prioritising fiscal responsibility, the other refusing to abandon their commitment to supporting the most vulnerable. Whether Starmer can navigate this division will not only define his leadership, but determine whether Labour can retain public trust as Reform UK continues to make gains in the polls. The rebellion over welfare cuts isn't just a disagreement on spending, it's exposing a deeper ideological rift within Labour. For many MPs, this fight against the £5 billion cuts is symbolic, a battle over whether the party will stand by its historic commitment to protect the most vulnerable or shift towards centrist pragmatism under Starmer's leadership. Meanwhile, public patience seems to be wearing thin. Reform UK's rise in the polls suggests disillusioned voters are seeking alternatives as Labour struggles with internal chaos. With a crucial vote on July 1st fast approaching, Starmer's ability to lead through division faces its ultimate test.